Yona Zua. No, no, okay. All right, so welcome back. And just like I said, to be very successful in life and in this journey, there are three important things that I would encourage us to pay attention to. I know we all have our dreams in our heart. We all have our goals. We all have the things that we want to achieve by the end of this year. And the good thing is that you're not going to be alone. I'm going to be in this journey alongside with you. And who knows what's going to happen? So, aside from your vision, one thing is key. You need to have the right vehicle. All right? You need to have the right vehicle. So, the three things you need to have: number one, the right vehicle. You see, if I give this example a lot, I said, if I am going to Lagos from Abuja, there are many ways to get to Lagos. Number one, I can trek from Abuja to get to Lagos. The question is, will I be able to get to Lagos someday? And the answer is yes. It's just that it's probably going to take me a little bit longer. It's a vehicle. Vehicle means that will take you, that will convey you from one point to another. So I can as well go by, let's say, bicycle. I can choose to ride bicycle to go to Lagos. Will I get to Lagos someday? The answer is yes. I probably will get there a little bit earlier than someone that treks to Lagos. That's another means. But is it the ultimate means that will easily get me to Lagos? The answer is no. So, what if I decided to use a fast car like Lamborghini, Bugatti? You see, the journey that's probably going to take someone that is going to trek 1 week, it's probably going to get me there in maybe 5 hours or 6 hours. Suppose the road is good. And let me tell you, even in your quest to get to Lagos with your vehicle, sometimes so many unforeseen things may happen along the way. You may come across bumpy road, gallops, and a lot of things. They are all part of the journey if you must get to Lagos. But how fast you get to Lagos, with the convenience you're able to get to Lagos is ultimately determined by the vehicle that you choose. You see, someone can even decide to use an aeroplane or a PJ, private jet. The question is, would they go to Lagos? Will they get to Lagos? And the answer is yes. It's just that with the fastest car that you use, probably it takes you 5, 6 hours. Someone that is flying a jet may get there in 50 minutes. You see, all of them are vehicles. All of them are means that will get you to Lagos. But the speed, the convenience with which you're able to get to Lagos, it is ultimately determined by the vehicle. You see, I meet a lot of people every now and then, and I see people with very good dreams in their heart, but the vehicle they are in sabotage their success. They have the desire in their hearts. They have the goals in their hearts, but they lack the proper vehicle that will convey them faster to their destination. And it doesn't matter how positive you are. It doesn't matter how excited you are. It doesn't matter what you confess. It doesn't matter whether you're a good person, you're an honest person, you're a godly person. All these factors doesn't matter. You can be a good person. You can be an honest person. With a bad vehicle, you still will not be able to get to Lagos as faster as the someone that used private jet. So in your quest to get to your final destination, how fast you get to that destination is determined by the vehicle. And I have experimented a lot of vehicles over the years, as many of you already know. All right. And I have found some vehicles to be a little bit reliable and also a little bit safer than others. But guess what? Another most important component of your success is the next one. It's not even the vehicle. Because you can have the best vehicle. If you don't have the right knowledge of how to drive the vehicle, you will crash that vehicle. So the second type of knowledge, the things that you need to be very successful, is to have the right knowledge. You see, a lot of people focus on having the vehicle without having the proper knowledge of how to drive the vehicle. So it doesn't matter how well you're equipped. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have the best vehicle in the world. If you can't move that vehicle, you will sabotage your success. So imagine I have a Lamborghini, but I don't know how to drive a car. And you're going to join me in my car for us to go to Lagos. If we ever get there at all, which I doubt, probably we'll get there in pieces. And that's what happened to a lot of people. They may have also the best vehicle in the world, but they don't have the right knowledge of how to drive that vehicle. So the essence of this 3 weeks to about 90 days program that you're also going to be exposed with me is for us to learn together, to master the act of riding this vehicle, so that in the process, you're going to learn, you're going to master the act of riding this vehicle so that you can be able to successfully and safely get to your destination. So number one, the right vehicle. Number two, you need to have the right knowledge of how to ride the vehicle. All right. And number three, you need to be the right person. And that's very important. Remember what the story I told you about Robert Allen. All right. He says, whatever that you have, you can lose it. But whoever you become, you keep. Remember, I said it. The best thing about being a doctor is not even the medical school. I mean, it's not even the certificate. The certificate is just to attest that you have gone through medical college. But if I take away that certificate away from you, it doesn't make you less than a doctor. It's the quality of the knowledge, the training that you receive that determines whether you're going to be a quack doctor or a good doctor. If you don't receive a medical training, it's going to be difficult for you to become a medical practitioner. So the same thing. You see, I travel and I see a lot of people confess in their heart. They have a lot of desire. A lot of people pray about success. And sometimes it marvels me that in this century, God has given you all that you need to be very successful. He gave you a brain. He gave you a lot of opportunities. There has never been a time to be more successful, an easier time than now. But I am going to focus over the next 90 days in making you, but I can't do that for you because no one can do your own push-up for you. I can only guide you. I can only encourage you. But whether or not you do it is completely up to you. The goal is to help you to become the right person. So that even if we take away everything away from you, just like what Robert Allen said, guess what? You can be able to recreate your results. I have invested a lot in many businesses that have gone, but by the grace of God, my life have always been up, 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 up. Were there challenges? Yes. Was it a smooth ride? Of course, no. The greatest asset a man can have, the greatest thing you can ever invest in is not in properties, is in yourself. My mentor said, Heladi, if you empty your pocket in your head will fill your pocket. If you empty your pocket in your head will fill your pocket. All right? So today, the vehicle, just like I discussed earlier, is the means of real estate. But the question is, a lot of people that are on the call, many people have reached out to me and say, Heladi, I don't have a lot of money. How can I be able to invest in real estate? How can I make money in real estate? I understand. And that's why probably before the end of the class today, I'm going to show you 1 or 2 ways, things you can do to be able to get there. But remember, this program is about closing. All right? So there are many ways you can earn that. Probably on our subsequent class, I'm going to go in depth, but today is the surface. Today we're going to talk about sales. Now, I want to tell you something. Selling today is the world's highest paid profession if you're good at it. Everyone succeeds to the extent to which they can sell. Every organization in the world succeeds to the extent to which they can sell. That's why every corporation around the world is looking for a salespeople. All right? Mercedes-Benz, the height of their success, imagine they have the best product, but they are not able to sell it. They are not going to make a lot of money. Everyone that you meet out there is a salesperson. It's just that they don't know. A pastor is selling an idea of a heaven. A parent is selling an idea of a good life for their children. Right? Everyone is selling something. Some are selling tangible, some are selling intangible. So to the degree to which you can sell something will determine how successful you're going to be. You see, growing up, I was quite shy. Yeah, just come around. Okay. Yeah. So growing up, just like I said, I was a very quite young and quite shy person. I was the most unlikely person that's probably going to speak. I remember one of the first time I had to speak in public and even talk to people. I used to say this, and people used to say, "Wow, Heladi, is that true? How is that possible?" All right. So and I used to share this story a lot to a lot of people. I said, I remember one time when I was in school many years ago. I There was a course that I wrote, and I didn't know about my faith, and I promised God that if I passed this course, I was going to give a testimonial. I'll never forget. I think that was my remedials or thereabout, and and luckily, I think my year 1, and I passed with even A. So I was excited. Now it was time for me to do what I promised God. I remember when I went to give the testimony, I almost cried, and I stood up and like my mind sat down. I mean, most of you can relate a situation whereby you stand before people and then everything in your head goes blank. So I was a very shy guy, and I'm not the likely person that's probably I feel will be able to sell anything, because anything that requires talking to people, I feel like that is not for me. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. So everything that requires talking to people, I feel like, well, probably that is not for me. But as the good Lord have it, I know one thing, that I've always tell myself, I will not be slave to my fear. And that's what I'm going to encourage you in our journey. Don't be a slave to your fear. The best way to get out of anything is through it. Anytime you fear something, do it. All right. So I know that if I fear talking to you, I must talk to you. The best way out is in. All right. Yes. So I did that over and over and over again. And guess what? Today, I thank God. Do I still have some fears? Yes, I do. But guess what? It's just that I didn't allow it to overcome me. I didn't just become a slave to it. If you buy into people's opinion, you have to buy into their lifestyle, because sometimes what's happening in your head, you are thinking, what will this person think? What if they say no? What if they say yes? What if they don't buy? What if all those things? Those are the voices that are keeping you small, that are keeping you where you are. When it comes to your dream, you have to be unapologetic about it. I remember many years ago, I used to do a program. I call it Insanity Campaign. Madness Campaign means I promise myself to go out there and be abnormal for the next 90 days, to do something ridiculously different. All right? Because I was tired. I was tired of being where I am and where I was at of that time. And my mentor used to say that sometimes, Heladi, you have to do the things that you don't like to do, that are ethically and morally right, so that it can give you the chance to go back to do all the things that you've always wanted to do. You see, I hate talking to people. I was shy. I was the shy guy. But today, I've been able to overcome a lot of it. And by the grace of God, as a result of that, I've been able to do some great things. So today, I'm going to show you some basic skills about selling. Yes. And particularly about selling real estate. All right. And why I'm excited about real estate is very simple, because it's real. All right. Because it's real. And so a lot of time people have some challenges when it comes in terms of closing a deal. All right. So there are hidden psychology of winning big deals in real estate business and in life. And tonight, that is what I'm going to discuss about. So remember, money does not go to the most talented persons. Money does not go to the hardest workers. Money goes to the person who asks for it with the most conviction. Money goes to the person who asks for it with the most conviction. All right? And that's it all about. But here's the uncomfortable truth that I want to talk to you about. Do you know that 95% of salespeople compete on price when it comes in terms of selling? And you cannot win the price war. All right? Yeah. You can't, one of the things you can win, you can't win the price war when it comes in terms of selling. All right? Because there will always be someone that is selling cheaper than you. There will always be someone out there that is selling higher than you. And 95% of people compete on price. But guess what? Only about 5% of people compete on belief. And the 5%, they earn more than the 95% combined. So the thing usually is probably not about the price, but the belief. All right? So I want to ask you a personal question, especially if you are a realtor on in the call, or if you're someone looking to earn some little career as a side hustle in this call. Because after this call, I'm also going to give you an opportunity to experiment and to practice everything that you've learned. And I'm also going to be able to, on that note, I will also be able to monitor you. We will talk, we will be on the same group, and then we will monitor your progress. Wherever you have a challenge, you will be able to reach out to me, and we will see how to address it. I will hold you by hand and to make sure that anywhere you have some hurdles, that at least I have the knowledge on how to do that, we can be able to get there. But I want to ask you a question. How many deals have you lost? Not because your product was wrong, but because your words were wrong. So if you find yourself in that situation today, that end, I want to tell you something about closers. Do you know that the greatest closer who ever lived never sold a single product? All right. Please, I see a lot of you sending requests for me to be able to record, and is disrupting our class. They already were recording it, and the link may probably, I don't know if my team will want to share the link, but probably they may want to share it with some of you. Okay. So thank you. So I told you that I'm saying that the greatest closer who ever lived never even sold a single product. I remember many years ago in 2014, I was part of a company that was selling a coffee called Organo Gold. and my mentor at that time, all right, and before they even shipped any product in Nigeria, and he was saying that, Heladi, you need to hit a sales target to be able to sell this number of coffee before we can come to the country. As of that time, I'll never forget then. And I was trying to sell the product, and people were not buying because, I mean, how can you sell what people are not seeing? Yes, I was selling coffee, but where is the coffee? They have not shipped any coffee in Nigeria as of that time. So he told me something. He said, Heladi, the problem that you have is that you, as a salesperson, you are not supposed to be selling the product. I mean, sorry, excuse me. The question is, what am I supposed to sell if not the product? He said, Heladi, don't sell the product, sell the vision. When people buy into the vision, the product become unnecessary. But you have to make sure that you deliver the product to them so that you can stay in integrity. So here's what I'm saying. The greatest closers in the world who ever lived never sold a single product. You know what he sold? He sold belief. He sold identity. He sold a version of a future that people could not resist. You know what a lot of people sell? They're selling the product. Well, we have a house. It's seated on 250 square meters. That is what you're selling. That's why you're not being able to make some reasonable sales. All right? So here is the truth about money and closing as we start our class. I think our class is just starting now. All right? So, yes, you need something? Make a host? Okay. No, it's asking me to change, but it's okay. You can control it then. Okay. Yeah. So I said our class just start now. Okay. So here is the one truth, all right, about money and closing. That's why most people never close big deals, especially people that are involved in this this real estate. Sorry, just excuse me. Okay. Yeah. Especially in real estate. Number one, all right, why people stay broke in sales. I see a lot of people today, they join the sales businesses. They wanted to sell real estate, but they make a lot of effort. They try, and it doesn't seem to work. There's a psychology and there is a science to it. And that's what we're going to discuss about, okay, starting at this moment. So number one, a lot of realtors, a lot of people that are into selling, just like I said earlier, they are selling features. But big closers, they don't sell features. They sell the future. Remember, I mean, features and then future. Most times as a salesperson, when you emphasize on the features, people don't buy. To be a successful and a good closer, you must focus on selling the future of your product. Number two, a lot of people talk too much in the process of selling. All right? A lot of people talk too much. Now, what successful closers does is that they listen with surgical intent. Your greatest asset in selling any product or service is your ears, not your mouth. You know, before now, I used to think that I'll have to be able to convince people. I have to be able to talk to people in order to convince people to buy something. But I realized that even what might consider to be the greatest advantage can also be your greatest undoing. All right. Number three, why a lot of people, I figured that they find a lot of problems selling is because they chase buyers. I see that, and in the beginning of my career, I used to do that when I used to sell so many products and services. I'll call this person and I'll say, you need to buy this thing. You know, after some time, they even get tired. They stop picking your call and you get frustrated. All right. So I learned the science that I shouldn't be someone that chases customers, that chases buyers, but I should magnetically attract them. And before the end of this class today, I'm going to show you how to attract buyers in whatever it is that you sell, whether it's real estate, whether it's whatever it is that you do. All right. So another thing, another fourth reason why people struggle to close big deals in selling profession that I noticed is that they negotiate on price. This price is this price is this. In fact, one time I was talking to my team, I said to some of my team, and I told them, they said, Doctor, why don't we do promo in this thing? I said, I don't do promo. To do promo means to accept less of yourself, to sell that you already know this is what this thing is worth. So you are accepting to take less of what it is. All right. And guess what? I still close much more than a lot of people that even do promo. So what does closers do? Closers negotiate on value perception. All right? On value perception. And don't worry about this. These are just points. I'm going to teach you in depth, in detail. I'm going to even give you word-to-word script. And when you find yourself in different scenarios on how you can tackle some life challenges. And this knowledge will be invaluable to you, not even for the purpose of this class. So why a lot of people also stay broke, even though they are in selling profession, is because they ask for the sale. All right? I don't ask for the sale. One of the things the closers does is that closers make the no impossible. Will you buy what I'm selling? No. This is psychology. You know, one of the things that surprises me is that, you see, someone will go to school and spend 5 years or 6 years to become an engineer or an accountant, because they know that the only way they can become successful in that line is through studies. But I've seen a lot of people in selling profession that have never studied anything about selling. And yet they want to be successful. How? They tell you, by the grace of God. I've prayed about it. It's just like saying that, yes, I've prayed that by the grace of God, I'm a doctor, even though I've not subject myself through the rigorous training that a medical doctor have to go through to become a doctor. All right? So here is the thing that I want you to remember. Closing is not selling. All right? Closing is not selling. Closing is the act of transferring of belief from your mind into the buyer's nervous system. Right? There's a belief that you already have about your product, about what it is. That's why if you're not convinced about your product, it's difficult for you to sell it. So closing is an act where you transfer belief from your mind into the buyer's nervous system. So when you truly believe, your conviction becomes contagious. That the buyers, all right? When you truly believe, your conviction becomes contagious. The buyer doesn't decide, they surrender. All right? Now, remember, all the things I'm going to teach you, please, in this program, I want you to use it for good. All right? Don't use it for bad. Now, there are 4 invisible forces in every deal. And I'll never forget when I was having that one-time conversation with my mentor, and he will tell me that, all right, now there are 2 realities. One, there is a buyer's mind, what is in the mind of the buyer, and there is also a closer's mission, the mission that the closer have in his heart. Now, in the buyer's mind, there is a fear. A lot of time when you meet buyers, they'll have some fears. Probably they've been duped before. They've had bad experiences. I've met a lot of people that have that people have scammed them. People have cheated them. Even the people that they truly believed in, people that are even closer to them. So it's a natural thing that we tend to act out based on our own life experiences. So when I meet people and they share with me their life experiences, I don't argue with people's experiences. Don't argue with someone's experiences. So in the buyer's mind, most of them, they have fear. What if I lose my money? So your goal as a closer, your mission is to dissolve that fear with certainty. Fear, anywhere you have doubt, doubt breeds fear. And doubt comes in an absence, is what happens in the absence of knowledge. Only through knowledge that you drive out doubt and fear. So on one side, on the buyer's mind, there is this, what if I lose my money? But on the closer side, the mission is, how can I dissolve the fear with certainty? That's one thing. The number two thing, on the buyer's mind, there's a status. Will people respect me for making this choice? One of the four reasons why buyers buy what they have, but buy what they want to buy is one of these things. One, fear. All right. Sometimes maybe they don't want to lose their money. Two, remember I said status. Will people respect me for this choice? If I buy this thing, how will people perceive me? So in your offer as a closer on one side is to elevate their status with the vision. So anytime you are selling, you're not just selling property, you're selling a vision that elevates their status. I'll give you an example. You know the difference between Karu and Asokoro is trackable. The distance between Pape and Maitama is just a road. Why would someone pay over 1 point something billion to stay in Asokoro and just on the other side of the road is Pape where he can stay for less than 20 million naira? It's status. That I'm living in Asokoro, that I'm living in Maitama. Now, number three is trust. Can I believe this person? A lot of time, in fact, I used to tell people that people buy from people that they trust. And one of the greatest compliments you will ever receive in your life is that I trust you is more than I be. When someone said, I trust you is better than I love you. Trust is the highest compliment that you can ever receive. So your goal as a closer, on the closer's mission is how to build trust with authority. I used to create a program that I used to teach people on what I call the immediate yes formula. And before the end of this class, I'm going to lay a foundation for you on how to build trust and authority that will help you to close big deals. But remember, I said every information that I'm sharing with you today, I want you to use it ethically because I know a lot of people, all right, might probably abuse it. So last one, in the buyer's mind, there is value. Now the buyer is thinking that, is this worth more than my money? Because there's no way you know. What if I'm paying too much? So your goal on the closer's mission is to amplify the value beyond the price. Make sure that the value is always higher than the price, so that at the end of the transaction, there shouldn't be a buyer's remorse. A situation where buyers, after paying, he felt cheated, he felt bad. He felt, I wish I didn't. Your goal as a closer is to make sure that every time you have a successful transaction, when someone goes back, they feel, man, I've hit a jackpot. I'm happy with the decision that I made. Because everything does not start and end with just one sale. So when we talk about fear, let me briefly just lay a certain foundation about the architecture of fear. Now, a lot of time people don't know is that fear is not the enemy of closing. Fear is not your enemy. In fact, it is the engine that you can use to your own advantage to close a deal. So number two is that I never forget times when I will talk with my mentor and he will share with me this concept and he will say, buyers fear losing money. But you know what they even fear most? Is fear of missing opportunity. All right? Remember, buyers fear losing money. But what they even fear the most is fear of losing out an opportunity. So your goal is to present your opportunity in such a fashion and manner that is irresistible. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So your job is to shift their fear from the risk of buying to cost of not buying. What will it cost them if they don't buy it? I give you an example. I've said in Nigerian real estate, I told someone, I said, listen, the plot here last year was sold for 24 million naira. Today is 90 million naira. What do you think it will cost you in this new site that we are launching. Today, this plot is 20 million naira. And from what I've seen is that it has a lot of potential than this one. What will be the cost of you not buying in the next 12 months? I was sharing with someone that came to me, and I was telling him about an offer in one of my estates, and I was showing him the sales campaign that we run last year. I was showing, I said, listen, a plot of land that we were selling for 24 million as of January, by now I am selling it for about 77 million. So, and I have just launched an estate that is even more promising than that. So we were having a conversation, and when he saw some of the vision of what I hope to achieve in this new estate, he said he was wow. And I said, listen, all right, in this place, let's move from 24 to 77 million, and by the end of this month, I'm making it 93 million. So what will it cost you? What will be your cost if you don't buy into this project 12 months from now? So I want you to write this down if you're on the call. People make decisions based on fear of loss than possibility of gain. In selling, all right, people make buying decision based on fear of loss than possibility of gain. I give an example. Someone said, hey, listen, this plot is 20 million naira. By the end of this month, it will be 30 million naira. You see, sir, if you buy it, by the end of this month, you're going to be 10 million naira richer. I don't say that kind of a thing. I say, hey, listen, sir, this plot is now 20 million naira. But if you don't buy it now, in the next 1 week, you're going to lose 10 million naira for not buying it. Do you see how you refrain it? All right. So you can use fear to your own advantage. But what is even more important is the trust. Let's look at the invisible. Trust is the invisible currency. Remember, people do not buy from people they like. They buy from people they trust. Let me shock you. In one of the prime estates that I'm selling, that my team members are selling, I have a lot of people. I'm telling you, a lot of people that are buying their land, their estate land in those estates, not because they are buying land. As a matter of fact, there is an estate that out of 100 plots, I'm just giving an example, if out of 100 plots, 80% of people, that means 80 plots that were sold, 80% of those people have never been on site. They have never seen the site. They just know that it's Babana, it's Heladi that owns the estate, and that is all. I know a lot of people reach out and say, Babana, we saw someone send me a flyer and I saw Hyeladi Prime. And is that you? I say yes. They say, if it is you, it's okay. So, and if you are a salesperson, you're on the call, you know one thing that I know is true, that the major reason why a lot of people ever bought from you is not just because it was a good deal. You can have the best deal. If people don't trust you, they're not going to buy anything from you. So people do not buy from people they like. They buy from people they trust. And let me tell you something about trust. Trust is a currency that you earn through integrity of character. And it forms what I call credibility. And I want you to write this down. You cannot, in the long run, sustain your success as a salesperson if you don't have credibility. And what is credibility? Credibility is a history of documented transactions that are done in integrity. Every time you do something in integrity, you have just earned much in your trust bank account. You make a deposit in your trust bank account. Every time someone does something with you and is successful and they have a good report about it, you have just earned more. That's why I told you earlier, I said, it is better someone said, I trust you than to say, I love you. Because sometimes we can love people that we don't trust them. So trust is not built by being friendly. Trust is built by being certain. Now, I tell you this. The moment a buyer senses your doubt, the deal is dead. And one of the things that I want you to do is that always be in integrity mode. Always be in integrity mode. And what is integrity? Integrity is when your words matches your deed. When what you say you're going to do, you do it. Anytime you do what you say you're going to do it, you've earned more in your trust bank account. What did I say? Integrity is when your words matches your deed. Let it be known that people know that anytime you said you're going to do something, you do it, whether it's convenient or not. Now, remember I said certainty is not arrogance. It is quiet. It is unshakable knowing that what you offer changes lives. In Africa today, one of the things I realized is that trust is generational. And as a builder, I want you to take note of this. Anytime you close one closed deal with integrity, it opens 10 more of it. Anytime you close a deal in integrity, all right, it opens more of those deals. Don't let your immediate need for money, your desire to make money, your urgency to make a sale make you even promise what is not real and what is not true. In my experiences, what I realized is that an amateur tries to convince people. I don't convince anyone to buy anything from me. Professionals makes it obvious for them to make a decision. But a master makes it feel inevitable. And that is the stage that my goal is that at the end of this program, this series, you're going to be able to attain some level of mastery. And if your goal is to be able to make sales, to make a lot of money through commission, we're going to start by that. I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money through earning commission. And with that money, I'm going to show you how to create an investment that in 1 or 2 years, I'm going to also show you how to own your own real estate portfolio and probably real estate company. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. All right. Now, remember, I said earlier that there are certain bias, there are psychology. Selling is all about psychology. And it's all about understanding the mind that signs the check. All right. At the end of the day, it's not only about you. It's about the person who signed the check. All right. So you need to understand their mind. What do they think of? How do they think? Now, have you ever wondered why sometimes you take people to site, you show them an offer or, a very wonderful opportunity, and they tell you that, well, I will think about it. All right. Yeah, it seems common. I'll never forget in those days when I started my career in many years, and I will text someone to say, and then they would say, I'll think about it, and when I was talking to my friend, he said, what did he say? He said he's going to think about it. I will be so excited. Oh, he like it. I think he like it. He said he was going to think about it. He will get back to me, and guess what? They never did. As a matter of fact, if you're going to be successful in sales, there are 4 enemies that I want you to note down. 4 enemies that will try to stop you. But my goal is that if there are only 4, I'm willing to face them. All right? Because the result you want is always on the other side of fear. There are only 4 enemies. Number 1, There's going to be deception. My mentor taught me that. He said, there's going to be deception. A lot of people are going to deceive you. What it means is that you will show an opportunity to someone. They will see that this thing is good. And sometimes they will tell you that we're going to buy. And guess what? After 2, 3 days, you call them, they don't even pick your call. Sometimes some people will tell you that, hey, listen, well, we are coming so that we're going to go for inspection together. And when it is date for the inspection, guess what? You call them. Some will even tell you we are on our way. You wait for 2, 3 hours, you never get to see them. All right, deception. People will tell you that I'm going to pay tomorrow. They will fill the form. You may even use your money to buy form for them. And guess what? They don't buy. So I anticipate all these things. That's what the master does. Now, an amateur expects that everybody will say yes. But guess what? I don't. Because even the best closer in the world don't close 100% all the time. All right? So number one is deception. All right? Number two is rejection. Sometimes someone once said, I saw a post on the internet, someone said there are some people that even if you sell, what do you call it, lifeline, what did they say? That even if you sell long life and prosperity, they will still not patronize you because it is you that is selling it. And I think that is true. Yes, because it is you, they will not. All right? So people are going to deceive you. But guess what? If these are some of the obstacles that I will need to encounter before I get to my destination, then guess what? They are not even a problem at all. Maybe because I have suffered in my life and I've seen what it means to be poor and I know what it means to suffer. So when I get to a stage where where maybe the only challenge is probably what someone think, then that is probably not even a problem for me at all because it's nothing compared to carrying a block. Abi? Yes. So remember this, please. Why people say I will think about it, it is never about thinking. It is about feeling. Don't forget that. I will think about it equals to you have not made me feel safe enough to decide. That is what I realized in my years of experience. Now, what I figured out is that most objections are just customers' concern. They are souls crying for more clarity or more information. Now, the brain has already decided in the first 7 seconds. The rest is justification. And there is a book I want to recommend to all of you if you care for, all right? If you care to buy, it's called the 45-second presentation. In fact, most of your customers, most of your clients already make the decision as to whether they're going to buy the very first 45 seconds of the presentation or the very 45 seconds of when they see your offer. All right? Now, people make decision emotionally, but they have to use their logic to justify that buying decision. Now, your job is not to give them more information as what a lot of people used to do. I remember many years ago when people give me an objection, I would say, okay, maybe there is something information that I'm supposed to give you that I did not give you. I'll give that information again. I want to give more, and I'll give more, and I'll give more. All right? So, and I figured out that it is not. What is required is to give them more certainty. It's not more information. All right. A confused mind will always say no, but clarity is the closest weapon. Your goal, and I always tell you, is to provide more clarity. Clarity is the order of the game. Now, remember, our brain is divided into 2 ways, the emotional part and the logical part. All right. So the emotional versus the logical decisions. Now, the biased brain, that's the emotional brain, that's the biased brain, and the logical brain, the justifiers. Now, the emotional part of your brain makes that decision in milliseconds as to whether it is going to buy or not. But it has to activate the logical part so that it can create enough reason to support the logic. Now, the emotional brain, all right, which is the bias, is driven by desire, by fear, and by status. Desire, fear, and status. All these things are ingrained, they are deeply seated in the heart of your offer. Well, the justifier, which is the logical brain, what it needs is that it needs data in order to feel smart. So you provide data in that aspect. So remember, the emotional brain responds to stories and images. And I'm going to teach you when we get to how to close. I'm going to teach you how to use stories to also close. All right. And how to create images in people's mind if you want to close. All right. So when the emotional brain responds to stories and images, you also need to respond with numbers and facts to help the justifier, which is the logical part of the brain, in order to solidify, to make that decision permanent. Now, the emotional brain, which is the right part of the brain, it asks, how will I feel? While the justifier asks one question, can I defend this choice? So your goal is to give facts that will help the emotional part of the brain to defend that choice. All right? So here's the golden rule of closing. Don't forget this, and I want you to write this down. Sell to the emotion, then justify with logic. Did you get that? Sell to the emotion, but then justify with logic. A lot of people, and I see that a lot with a lot of salespeople, they'll carry their calculator and be, they will be punching the calculator and be selling with the spreadsheet. Never lead with spreadsheet. Lead with the story of what their life become after when they say yes. After when they purchase this property, how will their life look like? And you have to be honest. Remember, one of the golden rules, always be in integrity mode and always be honest in your process. Don't ever try to create a picture of what you know is not real. It will backfire. Every act of dishonesty will always backfire in the long run. All right? So, here is what people are buying. Most buyers, don't forget this. I want you to write this down. They are buying ego, they are buying pride, and they are buying status. They are buying ego, they are buying pride, and they are buying status. If you understand these three things, you've understood what it means to sell. At the root of all sales lie these three things. Why do people buy what they buy? Maybe it makes their life easy, or it boosts their ego. It makes them look important, all right? Or it makes them feel to belong. Why do people buy land, spend billions to buy a house in Asokoro and not in Karu, while it's just less than 1 kilometer away? All right. I'm a victim, including myself. I'll never forget many years ago, when I came to Abuja and I was living, at the time I was living in a place outskirts of Abuja. And one time I had someone bought a house in Asokoro, very expensive. And I was saying that, God forbid, if I can make that money, with the money that they buy house in Asokoro, sure, I can buy like 10 or 20 in Maraba or in Nyanya or in Ikaru. It's not just less than 1 kilometer away. It's a waste of money. But fast track down many years ago, most of my properties that I started buying, I was buying them in Asokoro. Why? Because I was also a victim. Most times, people are buying what? Ego, pride, and status. As a salesperson, this is what you are selling. People buy what makes them feel important, not what is logically the best. People buy what makes them feel important, not what just logically makes them what? What is logically the best for them. Logically speaking, the cost of one house in Asokoro probably may buy you 10 houses in Karu. And it's just less than 1 kilometer away. or a cost of one house in Maitama can buy 10 houses in Pape. It's just a road that separate them. All right. But why is it that people don't buy the house in what do you call it? In Pape? It's because of this same reality that I'm telling you. If you understand this thing, you will make a lot of money as a salesperson. All right. I tell you example. A man buys a plot in Maitama, not just for ROI, but for the story he tells at the dinner table. Where do you live? Well, I stay in Maitama, I stay in Asokoro. Most people that stay in Abuja, they're fond of that story. All right. So never sell the property. Sell the identity of the person who owns it. What will the person become? What identity will the person have after finally owning this property? All right. So listen, when people visit and you said, this is your estate in Asokoro, this is your estate in Maitama, this is your estate in Uye, this is your estate, all right? That is not the real estate. That is legacy. Status is the most underpriced currency in sales. All right? Status is the most underpriced currency when it comes in terms of selling. Another thing also is that my mentor told me, he said, the reason why sometimes, and I want to ask you this thing, all right? Have you ever taken someone that you try to sell a property to them, or you try to sell anything, maybe a car or something, and you just discover that they have the means, they have the money, but they are indifferent as to buying it. They tell you, yeah, yes, I will buy, but I will get across to you. And they just want to buy at whatever time T that they choose to buy. Is because as a salesperson, you do not infuse these two things. One, in all your offer, always create scarcity and urgency. Always create what? Scarcity and urgency triggers. These are the basic things that makes people want to pay now and not wait until forever. Now remember, scarcity is not manipulation. It is reality. Good deals always vanishes and it doesn't last long. It doesn't stay forever. But remember, I still warn you, always stay in integrity. Always stay in integrity. All right? Excuse me. Are we good? If you're good, please, I just want to see you on the chat board, Craig, just let me show some emojis on the board. I mean, if you're listening to me, if you're learning something, if you're getting value, probably, yes. Awesome. All right. Now, I'll give you an example. Real urgency. In some situations, someone said like, only 4 of the 24 units remain, sir. 3 are reserved. You are looking at the last open allocations. All right? But here's another thing. Never fake urgency. All right? Never what? Never fake urgency. Buy now or it's gone. Anytime you do that, the buyer feel this and distrust you. Never fake it. Say what you mean and you mean what you say. In Nigeria, we know that land appreciates so fast that urgency is built into the market normally. So use it truthfully, but don't fake it. Now, there are 5 archetypes, about 5 archetypes, all right? Bias archetypes that I want to quickly discuss with you, all right? Now, know who you are talking to, and you will know exactly what to say. A lot of time, I see people use one thing, one way of selling, and they sell the same thing to different people. First of all, you need to realize that we are human beings and we are different. All of us are not the same, all right? All of us are not the same. We are different. So you need to factor in the uniqueness of our differences. Now, in bias archetype, part 1, for example, 1, we have the skeptics. There are people that are naturally skeptical by nature. They ask 100 questions. You show them an opportunity, they will ask you a question, they will ask you a lot of questions, all right? So then and the reason why most times is because they have been burnt before. So they need proof, not promises. A lot of people that have even trusted in the past have deceived them, have tricked them, and it's normal. It's normal for them to feel this distrust, and it's normal for them to ask a lot of questions. So, but here's what I want you to know. Question means interest. If people don't have interest, they're not going to ask you any questions. So don't see question as an attack to your personality. Just see it as a means as an interest, as a need for clarity. So these people, they usually need proof. They don't need promises. So you close with data, you close with testimonials, with transparent document, all your documentations, all right? Let them verify everything. Let them see that you don't have anything to hide. Now, remember, we have another set of people who are the silent observers. They say very, very little things. They don't even say much. They watches everything. These people are also, they are highly intelligent. They evaluate everything that you say. And usually these people, they don't trust salespeople by default. So how do you close? Close with calm authority. Give them space and let silence do the heavy lifting for you. Calm authority, give them space, and let silence do the heavy lifting. And very soon I'm going to even show you how to do all these things. But these are the foundations that I'm just trying to lay so that you understand. Now, the second type of the archetypes, the second type of people that are out there that you're going to experience, that you're going to meet in the course of this journey is the rich doubters. All right? They're rich, but they doubt. And I can tell you they have every reason to doubt, because let me tell you, one of the problems that you have when you start making money is that most time when people come to you, they want to have share of that money that you have. And guess what? People will come with dubious means, with different things, some that are not true. So in your process, you'll be able to see a lot of things. So that process have shaped them that they doubt many things that comes to them by default. So we have the rich doubters, all right? They has money, but they fear losing it. So they also compare it with almost literally everything. They need to feel that they are getting exclusive access if they must part with any amount with any money. So your best way you approach these people is to create exclusivity. This is not available to everyone. I reserve this because of your profile. I remember recently in one of the new estates that we launched in this January, I even created an area in the estate called the reserve. And I did that on purpose. Is for the reserve means is for the old money. Is a noise restriction area. That in fact, to have access to land in that part of the estate, you need to even buy a different form and pay a non-refundable fee of 1 million naira just to belong to that place. To have a plot, to be able, that's one step that you need to take if you must even own those units, because it's exclusive. It's created for high net worth individuals that want to live in a highly noise restriction area. So create exclusivity for this kind of people. All right. So, but we also have the emotional buyers, which is another archetypes in the buyers archetype too. They decide fast, but they regret faster. Right? And most times, in economic science, we call them people call them the impulsive buyers. Sometimes, and I think it's probably one of the things that I also suffer from. I tell someone that the reason why I don't go to market, because I think somehow some part of me fall within this category. Sometimes I used to buy the things I don't need. It's after when I leave the market and I realize that why did I even buy this thing? I don't even need this thing. So because I know it's a deficiency that I probably have to, most times when I even force myself to go to the market, I make sure that I don't carry my ATMs that have a lot of money, or probably I keep my phone in the car that have most of my bank apps because there may be a temptation to want to do transfer. All right. I don't know about you, but I know that I have so many colleagues, people out there that fall within that category. All right. So they sometimes they can decide fast, but they also regret it. They even regret their decision faster. So mostly they are driven by vision and excitement. So this kind of people that you're going to meet in the process, they need a post-decision reassurance. So how do you approach them? You close with bold vision. Close with what? With bold vision. Then immediate confirmation. Bold vision, immediate confirmation. You just made the right decision. Your children will thank you for this, sir. All right. Now, the next one, they are the authority seekers. Now, I'm just taking small time to just tell you about the different kind of people that you're going to be meeting. And it is important that we lay this foundation. All right. Yes. Yeah. It is important that you lay this foundation. Now, we have the authority seeker. Now, this buyer does not care about the product. They care about who is selling it. All right. They care about what? Who is selling it. They want to buy from the best, the expert, the one everyone respects. So that's why I said that in this quest, and of course, you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to show you how to consistently invest in yourself, because when you do it, everything around you takes the shape of the value that you've been able to create. I was telling someone that nothing is worth anything in this world until you show me who has it. I'll give you an example. If I take a bicycle, if I take this cup and I said, let's say, if I take a bicycle and I said, and I take a Rolls Royce and I said, I want to sell it, which one becomes more expensive? Or if I have a property, a house, and I said, this house is a two-bedroom flat in Asokoro, and this house is uh, is is 10-bedroom luxury home in Asokoro, and I want to sell it. I can guarantee you that 90% of the time, the 10-bedroom luxury duplex, world-class duplex, might be sold maybe 10 times much more expensive than the two-bedroom. But what if I tell you that the two-bedroom belonged to Nelson Mandela, was the house he lived in when he was alive and when he lived in Nigeria? And the 10-bedroom duplex belonged to one gang leader, a criminal, a renowned criminal worldwide. If I decided to auction the house, which one do you think all of a sudden becomes expensive? You already have your answer. Of course, the two-bedroom will have more value, not because of just the product, but because of who uses it. The truth is that when you improve yourself, when you invest in yourself, which is what I'm going to teach you, everything that you have, everything that you touch takes the value of the value, the inherent value you possess. So don't forget that. All right. Nothing in this life is worth anything until you show me who has it. So that's why you want to be able to invest in yourself. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to give you the materials one after the other that you need to, that you need to study in order to take your life to the next stage. Right? So in this way, you're going to close with credentials, with track record, and with quite confidence that says, I do not need these sales, but you need this opportunity. And folks, this is one of the best things that I learned from my mentor. He said, the person who needs the sale, don't make the sale. All right? So never be needy. So in Nigeria, and I can tell you, your personal brand is also your closing weapon. Do you do you notice that? And I'm sure it shocks a lot of you. I have been doing real estate for some times, but I sell a lot. But sometimes someone asked me this question, even this February, just this last one. He said, Heladi, why is it I've never seen you posted anything on real estate, not on your status, not on your page? He said, how do you do it? We spend a lot of money doing a lot of advertisement. We spend a lot of money, printing flyers and doing a lot of things. How do you do it? I've never seen you posted any flyer. In fact, I've never seen it. I think the first time I'm having to post anything that has to do with real estate gong on my page, that has to do with now, I think is the video, the promotional video. And guess what? Most times when I open any site, it's almost sold out. People rush it. So I'm wondering, I said, what if I decided to start posting things about real estate, which in the few coming weeks, you're going to see a lot of value in that. And guess what? I promise you that this business, real estate, it's me and you. We're going to do this business together. If you want to just make money as a realtor, you're going to make a lot of money because I'm going to show you how. If you want to make money as a realtor to graduate to become a developer, I'm going to show you how. All right. Under a condition, if you're willing, all right, and you're disciplined, because discipline is a price for greatness. I will not give up on you until you give up on yourself. But listen, I can't also want it for you more than the way you want it for yourself. This business, it's over by the grace of God. All right. So quickly, I want to share with you some laws of closing. All right. Some laws that my mentor taught me many years ago. Now, if you notice, I've been just talking about my mentor, because I know this for sure, that mentorship is the legal shortcut way to success. There is no wisdom failing where others have succeeded. There's no wisdom trying to reinvent the wheel to do something that others have already done. All right. So most of the things that I've learned are the things that are time tested, that have been proven, that my mentors have practiced and has given them a lot of money. And I did practice it, and I've been able to make significant growth. And I've taught people in more than 25 countries around the world, and I've seen them having a lot of results. All right. So I'm going to just quickly run down 25 laws of closing. The code that separates closers from amateurs, the things that you must learn. Remember, everything I'm teaching you today is like primary one. We're just in primary one, all right? Not even secondary school yet. Not to talk of tertiary. As our classes goes, I will advance and you're going to learn a lot. If you don't make money in this business, it will simply just be because you choose not to. But it's not going to be because you don't know what to do. And that is the certainty that I know. All right. So number one of the laws of closing. All right. The law of perceived value. Write this down. Don't forget it. The law of perceived value. People, this is what I realized after many years. All right. People do not pay for what something is. They pay for what they believe it is worth. All right. People do not pay for what something is. They pay for what they believe it is worth. So the story you tell about the asset determine its price. All right? The story you tell about what you offer is what determines its price. Two identical plots. One described it as a land for sale. The other as a legacy investment in Abuja's fastest developing corridor. All right, remember, two plots in the same place. One, a realtor sell that what? He described it as an estate land for sale. Another one projected as a legacy investment in Abuja's fastest developing corridor, growing corridor. Which one do you think will sell it faster? You have your answer. So sell at vastly different prices. So in real estate, let me give you a practical real estate scenario. All right. So maybe a realtor now, for example, is selling a WA plot, reposition it from maybe they reposition it from 500 square meter land to maybe saying something like your family headquarters in the heart of Abuja. The price moved from 30 million to 42 million with zero physical changes. All right. One said that, I'm selling a land in WA, 500 square meters, is selling for 30 million. Someone said an opportunity to own your family headquarters in the heart of Abuja, right? 42 million. The same product, the same location, different prices. Perceived value. All right. The law of what? Perceived value. Number two, law number two, the law of emotional dominance. The law of emotional dominance. The person who controls the emotional temperature of the conversation controls the outcome. That's what my mentor told me. He said, anybody who controls the temperature of the conversation controls the outcome. So if a buyer is calm and you are anxious, you have already lost. So what do? Master your emotional state first. The buyer will unconsciously mirror your past. It will mirror you. So I give you an example. Maybe a developer somewhere in Abuja, maybe pitch an off-plan JV deal, and maybe he remained composed when the investor challenges the ROI projections. Now, his calm certainty made the investor feel this deal maybe was low risk after all. The 200 million commitment closes that evening. Remember, he who controls emotion controls the close. He who controls emotion controls the close. That is your secret weapon. Now, law number three, the law of urgency creation. I think, yeah, the law of urgency creation. Very important. Now, every deal has a natural expiration date. And some of you that have been in selling, you realize one thing, that especially some of you that believe in promo, and there is a deadline. Of course, yeah, I do sales and I put deadline, but I don't run promo. All right. So you realize that when the deadline is approaching to an end, that is when you make your highest sales. That's when people begin to pay. People begin to buy what you have. All right. Your job is to create urgency, but it's not to fabricate urgency. It is to reveal the urgency that already exists. So the law says that every deal has a natural expiration date. In a rising market, you already know that delay is the most expensive decision a buyer can make. So show them a relative thing. All right. Last month, this is what is being sold. And this month, this is it. If you don't act now, you're going to lose 10 million for not buying today. All right. So, for example, telling a Jabi buyer that the corridor added 5,000 naira per square meters every month or every quarter or every 90 days. If you wait, you are paying a premium for the same debt. He signs within a week. So urgency is not about pressure. It is the truth that is delivered with precision. It's not creating pressure. It is about what? The truth that is being delivered with precision. Now, consider these things in yourself. Now, the law of silence, which is the law number 4, and my mentor is one of the One of the greatest guy that I see use this a lot. Now, after you state the price, which is the law says that anytime you state a price or you make an offer, don't talk, stop talking. You know what most of you do? When you make an offer and the client is quiet, you go into talking mode. You start talking. You start talking. You keep talking. You said this. You said this because you want to make sure that you fill the void of the silence. That is the greatest mistake that a lot of people do. All right. So silence is the most powerful closing tools ever invented. The first person who speak, I learned this from Chris Voss, one of the FBI leading negotiator. All right, it says that the person who talks in the process of negotiation, anytime you're negotiating, all right, the person who speaks first always loses the deal. So the thing is that the person to speak after the price is revealed loses their negotiating power. So let the tension work for you. Anytime you state a price, when I tell you that, hey, listen, after I stated, I talked about the future value, how awesome this property is, and I create the future reality of what it will be like to actually own this property when we finish. I give you the price. I get out of my own way. I am shut up. I zip up. I let silence do the talk. All right? So don't always talk. Let the silence talk. All right? Now, don't allow the silence the tension to evaporate. Let the silence continue. Now, the law number 5, we call it the law of authority positioning. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's authority positioning. Buyers buy from those who they perceive as above them in knowledge. And it's your goal as a salesperson to equip yourself, to weaponize yourself with the knowledge of your offer. You know what amazes me sometimes is that you see even buyers tend to have more knowledge and information about the product, much more than even the buyer. I mean, much more than even the seller. So anything that you want to do, if you must make one decision, decide to become an expert. Know at least little bit, much more above the buyer about your offer. All right. You must enter every conversation as an expert, not as a salesperson. I am not a salesperson. I tell people that I'm not a salesman. All right. I'm a consultant. I help you make the best decision for yourself, and I do it with integrity. I also do it in such a way that even afterward, you look back and you feel like, yeah, I've made the right decision. All right. So the moment you chase, the moment you beg, the moment you over-explain, your authority evaporates. Never over-explain your offer. That's one of the simple things that people do to kill their offer. So rather than telling people that, will you buy this property? I said, no. I said, based on my analysis of this corridor, I have researched 3 properties, all right, 3 units, all right. Okay, so based on my own analysis of your needs and of the corridors of this environment, I have reserved 3 units for qualified investors. I wanted to see if your portfolio aligned before I can release one of them. So you see, the expert does not chase, the expert chooses. All right. So quickly, now, law number 6. All right. The law of loss aversion. The law of what? Loss aversion. Now, if you understand this, it will help you. The law of loss aversion. Now, human beings feel the pain of loss twice as intensely as the pleasure of gain. Remember, I told you something earlier that people make decisions based on fear of loss than possibility of gain. All right? Most times, when you sell a plot, when you sell a house, don't reframe it in such an order, maybe that, yeah, I mean, don't reframe it in such a order, like, and I see that people that say that a lot. So this house is worth 50 million naira, but we're going to review the price. It will be 65 million naira by the end of the month. So if you buy this house, you're going to make 15 million naira at the end of at the end of the purchase. That's wrong. Say, sir, if you don't buy this house today at 15 million, you're going to lose 15 million naira of your money for not buying this property today. I remember talking to an investor, I mean, that bought a property some times ago. I was telling him, I said, listen, sir, based on my analysis of your need and based on our conversation, I have observed and I have seen about 3 to 4 different properties that I've also reserved one, just like what I said earlier, all right, when I was just trying to talk to you about the laws. And based on that, I have seen something that you're about to lose 250 million naira. He said, how? I said, this property is now 500 million, but it's going to be reviewed to 750 million naira. If you don't commit now, you're going to lose 250 million. All right? And folks, that is the way to go. People, all right, fear lost. People do not run towards opportunity, they run from regret. Write that word down. People do not run toward opportunities, they run from regret. And guess what? Everybody at some point in their life have had some opportunities that they have lost in the past. And they are scared of making the same mistake. So your goal is to position your offer in such a way that they don't regret it in the future. Right? Now, the law number 7, quickly. Yeah, I think it's called the law of social proof. The law of social proof. When a buyer is uncertain as to whether they buy, sometimes you take someone to a place and, well, they are not certain of whether they want to buy or not. What they do, they look to what others have done. You know, all our life, we are used to being led. We are used to looking around and see what other people are doing, right? And I was talking to some young people. I said, you know, when you were born, you went to nursery school because people are going. You went to primary school because that's what people are doing. You go to secondary school, that's what you're doing. Now you go to university, you're taught, and that's what you see a lot of people doing. So when you graduate, what's the natural thing for you to do? You look around and see what are people doing. People are looking for jobs. So that's also the first thing that comes to your mind. People are used to looking around to see what others are doing as a reference point to make a decision as to determine whether or not they're going to do something. So when a buyer is uncertain about buying decision, they look around to see what others have done. Nobody wants to be the first to buy something most times. Everyone wants to be the smartest. So they want to avoid, because to them in their mind, first means risks. So show them that people that they respect have already said yes. I remember not too long ago, someone came to me and we were having a conversation, and though he doesn't know me that much, it's a referral that comes through a friend, and he saw an offer and he liked it, but he was I've been hesitant. How fast will this place develop? Will this? And during the process, someone called, and he happens to be there. Fortunately, he happens to the person. He said, to some level of privacy. All right, so I don't necessarily need to, but I spoke to my client. I said, listen, I have someone here, and I think I realized that he knows you. Is it okay and he's having a difficulty as to whether or not he want to make a decision to buy this thing. Is it okay with your permission to let him know that you own something here? He said, yes, go ahead. He said, in fact, let me call him. So the man called him while we were together, and he said, I learned you are with Dr. Heladi. I said, and he said, yes, I actually came. He said, wow. I said, I learned you're trying to make a decision. He said, yeah, go ahead. I bought 4. What? When he said, so you bought 4? He said, so what comes to his mind, if someone of this status, if someone as smart as this man that I respect a lot, bought not even 1, he bought 4? He said, who the hell am I? So sometimes it is good. That is why I also encourage you, when people buy from you, it's good with their permission to get them to record a testimonials, so that you can show other people that they are not alone, that there are other people that are also excited, and that people are also buying this thing. People are trying to, and remember, one of the laws which I'm going to teach you, don't use the word buy. Buy is one of the most adulterated word in selling. People like to buy, but they hate to be sold. So anytime people think of buying, what is coming in their mind is that money is going to be taken away from me. And you want to avoid that as much as possible. So tell them to own something. There's a pride in owning something. And because in reality, that is the truth. You're giving them an opportunity to own something that you believed in that will change their lives. So sometimes, example, 14 investors from Abuja business community, they just secured their allocation in the last 72 hours. 3 of them are also repeat customers. You are looking at the same opportunity they all acted on. You see? So here is what I want you to write down. Show them the footprint of those who walk this path before them. Always remember this keyword. Show them the footprint of those who walk this path before them. Now, I'm teaching you this thing, being whether you're a realtor, whether some of you that I'm going to train to graduate from being a realtor to owning your own estate, all right, regardless of your location, these are some of the mindset. You're going to be in sales. Whether you like it or not, you're going to sell something. Except if you just probably want to, if you're comfortable being where you are, it's okay. I can't force you to want to change your life. But if you're the kind of guy that made a decision, you know what, you're tired, you know deep in your heart, your life deserves a second chance. Guess what? You need to take some of this thing that I'm sharing with you serious. All right? Now, law 8, quickly, all right? Law 8, quickly. I call it the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity. It's very important, and I'm going to even teach you in the masterclass. For some of you, after this call, that will be qualified to be with me in this 90 days game plan, because guess what? Bible said many are called, but few are chosen. But in this case, many are called, but few choose themselves. All right? Many are called, but few choose themselves. I can promise you that a lot of you are going to be, you know, the parable of the sower. Some of the seed are going to fall by the roadside. Some of you are going to fall out, and it's okay. All right? Here is my goal. If there's only one person in this call tonight that 2 years from now, 3 years from now, will look back and say, thank God for that day that I was on that call with Dr. Heladi, and he shared with us some information that I acted on, and it changed my life. For me, that is worth it. All right? So here is what you do in the law of reciprocity. When you always, the law of reciprocity encourages you that when you give value before asking for sale, the buyer feels psychologically obligated to reciprocate. It's human nature. People want to do good to people that are good to them. All right? Now, this is why the best closers, they always educate, inform, and they serve. Here is your goal. 3 things. Don't forget it. Your goal as a closer are what? To educate people, inform people, and serve people, not to sell. Long before you make the pitch, Be very interested and genuinely interested in people. And don't do it as a means of manipulation because people can naturally sense if you have ulterior motive, if you're trying to manipulate them into something. All right. But be genuinely interested in people. And your goal is to educate people, education. All right. Information and service. So sometimes, um, in fact, I had a client that wanted to buy a property, and he explained to me all the things that he needed. And guess what? Of an honest truth, I needed the money, but I know deep within me that my offer does not meet the offers out of the offers that I have does not meet his needs. I told him, I said, listen, I was very honest. I said, well, what I have may not be able to meet up your needs, but I want to reach out to one or two persons to see if I can help you. And I did. I also take about 40 minutes of my time and I lecture him on how he can identify good investment in that and then bad one, how he can structure his deals, how he can get the best out of it. And I set him, not even for commission. I mean, I don't do that for the purpose of commission. You know what? He said he have never seen anything like that in his life. There's a book I want all of you to read. Please, I want you to read. And there's going to be a lot of reading, by the way. Remember, I said of the three things that you need to have the right vehicle, which we are going to choose real estate. You need to have the right knowledge, which the capacity to drive the vehicle depend on the knowledge. All right. And you're going to be the right person. So my goal is for you to become the right person through the acquisition of the right knowledge. So there is a book called Dig Your Well Before You Are Thirsty. Every entrepreneur on this call should read it. Dig Your Well Before You Are Thirsty. It's written by Harvey McKay. All right. It's a very wonderful book. It's a book on relationship, and yeah. So a lot of time people do things for today. So if you're going to build long-last wealth, you have to realize that don't try to convince people. Sometimes if you know what you have is not in their best interest, because at the end of the day, most adults know what is in their best interest. And at the end of the day, if they don't buy and you have pressured them, they will know that you're just simply but nothing but just a salesman trying to pressure them, even though you know that is not in their best interest. They're not going to trust you. So I offered my service. I helped him, even though my schedule is extremely busy, but he's a very high net worth individual. So I did that with all joy. Guess what? Every time anybody of importance is looking for something, he said, please, can you talk to Dr. Heladi? And through him, I have made a lot of money. And guess what? He have come back and have bought several properties through me and from me. So just don't do it for today. All right? Just don't do it for today. Always give before you ask. It's a natural law. And it's one thing that you need to learn if you are an entrepreneur. You see, a lot of problem that a lot of young entrepreneurs have is that anytime they meet someone that is successful, they place demand on that relationship. Can you do this thing for me? Can you help me do this? They ask for favor. The question is that successful person that you're looking have more than 1,000 people of your kind that are looking up to them, that are coming and asking for the same favor. Why should they do it for you other than everybody? If they want to attend to everybody, they will be dead. They wouldn't be successful. So be different. And that's one of the things that I'm going to teach you in the process. Every time I meet someone that is more successful than me, I never place any demand on that relationship until I never place demand on relationship that I don't invest in. Never. So here is the note I want you to write. Give before you take. Serve before you sell. The harvest always follow the seed. My mentor will always tell me that. He said, Heladi, give before you take. Serve before you sell. The harvest will always follow the seed. Are we good? All right. So quickly, the next one is the law of contrast. I wish we have time, but we don't have even time. And Sam, how many time? How much minute do we still have? Okay, so are we guys together? If we're together, let me get to see you on the chat board. All right. Yeah, let me see a fire emoji on the chat board. Yes, thank you. Yes, I can see Emmanuel, TLP. I can see Mama Eunice. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm seeing my people right there. Wow, wow, wow. It's good to see you guys. Wow. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of my friends and my families, my close. Um, yeah, on the call. It's amazing, by the way. All right. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I promise you that we're going to build life together. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but we're not even asking for it to be easy. We're acting that whether it will be worth it at the end of the day. All right. And every information that you need, I'm going to make sure that you have it at your disposal. Oh, I'm seeing Mama. It's been a long time. Oh, that's good. It's a pleasure to see you on the call. Yeah, I feel honored. There are so many people I have so much deep respect to, and I feel it's a great honor that they are on this call. And yes, all right, maybe we're going to talk more about that later. Okay? Yes. Okay. So, one of the things I learned in life that nothing is difficult. It's just that most of the time, uh, what we don't know, in fact, my mentor used to tell that there are no mountains anywhere. Your ignorance is your mountain. So if I give you the fastest moving car, if you don't know how to move it, it wouldn't be simply because you don't have what it takes to get you to your destination. It just simply going to be because you don't have the requisite knowledge on how to get you to how to get yourself using the vehicle that you have to your destination. And I feel that is what this should be more about. The reason also why we have a lot of challenge in our entrepreneurship endeavor in Nigeria and in Africa is that we have a lot of entrepreneurs that make money by luck and by chance. So it is difficult for them to explain to you what they did to become successful. And that's why we don't have a lot of mentors. We have more of godfatherism rather than mentors. All right. And you see, everything that I'm teaching you today is not it's something I have lived it and I'm living it and I'm a living witness. I'm a living example to it. All right. So quickly, we have the law of contrast. The law of contrast, it says that nothing is expensive or cheap in by itself. So everything is judged relative to what it sits beside. All right? Now, nothing is expensive or cheap by itself. Everything is judged relative to what it sits beside it. So place your offer next to something that makes it look brilliant. This January, we just launched a 61 hectares estate in, it's an FCDA land, very interesting offer. It's close to Centenary City. And recently, we all know that as of November, Centenary City, after more than 10 years, they've started working right now. So Julius Berger have just resumed to start doing the internal infrastructure in the place. And I was in their office. In fact, I took one of my senior friend. We went to the Centenary office because I was taking him to my site. So I bought myself and my friend. We bought the land that is just a road that is between it and the Centenary. And though it's quite expensive, and when we got there, we learned that 1,000 square meter in Centenary, and this is something that on your own, anybody on the call can go there and confirm. All right, it's been sold for about 377 million because of, and they are not just selling land, they are selling the future of what they intend to do on the land. And guess what? They have plenty buyers, people are buying. So on the other side of our land, we have Hutu Abuja, which I also own some hectares of land there, right? And 1,000 square meters is being sold now for about 77 million, but by the end of this month, we're going to sell it for 93 million. So when I took him to the side, I showed him, I said, so we had just gone to Centenary City, and he knew that 1,000 square meters is 377 million, and we have the same paper. The same strength. Our paper is FCDA. They also have the same type of paper that we have. None of the paper is superior to each other, and it's just road that is in between us. And so before, and I was teaching some of my people, I said, somebody told me that I took someone to Omnia Prime, and I told him that just 1,000 square meter is 52 million, and he was saying that it's expensive. So I had to teach them this also. One time, when I was going with my senior friend to Centenary, I asked him to follow me. So we went to the program, and he had that it's 377 million. So when my senior friend came to our estate, Omnia Prime, all right, and I told him that, hey, listen, we're just at a very pre-launch phase where it's just being sold for 51 million. And based on what I'm going to build there, because I'm going to build a smart city. And I was trying to remind him if he know of Central Park in New York, Manhattan. And he said yes, because he had been there many times. And I said, I'm bringing Central Park in Abuja inside an estate. And he said, wow. So, and I told him, I said, this is now 52 million naira, but by first week of, which is next month, I told him it's going to go for 70 something million naira. And I can tell you that in the next 1 year, this place is going to be nothing less than what, 150 million. And I can see in the next 2 years, it's probably going about 300 million naira thereabout. And based on, because I have a lot of control over this place, so I know how much I'm going to invest in it. And I was just telling him of the step of what I hope to achieve in that estate in the next 24 months. And he categorically, clearly, he knew that I'm someone that when I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So he could see that in the next 24 months, a 1,000 square meter that might reach like 200 million. So remember, we are just coming from a place that we are just sharing almost the same fence, and they are telling him 1,000 square meter, 200 and something million. On the other side, it's going to be 90 something million. And now I'm telling him 52 million. How do you think it looks? You have your answer. So you can use the law of contrast anytime you want to sell. When people tell you sometimes it's expensive, it's because they are contrasting it to something cheaper or something of low class or low value. Your goal is to reposition your offer and anchor it to something of great value. So here is the watchword that I want you to write this down. Context. It is context that creates value. Nothing exists in isolation. It is what? Context that creates value. Nothing exists in itself in isolation. So the next one, law number 10, quickly, all right? The law of future projection. The law of future projection. Don't forget this. People buy the future version of themselves, not the product. People don't just want to buy a house. So your goal as a closer is to transport them, the buyer, 3 to 5 years forward and let them have that feeling of ownership of how it will feel, how it will sound, how it will smell when they finally get there. Do you know that almost most people that I was selling the reserve plot of land in Omnia Prime estate close to Centenary City. Of course, it's not even on our flyer. I'm selling it off flyer because it's strictly exclusive. All right. Almost everybody that I share the vision of how I am creating, of how those units are going to be facing a natural garden. All right. And how it's going to be noise restriction area, how they access. And I was just making them imagine. I know that most of my high net worth people, we have a golf course inside the place. Most of you might not live there, but the idea of coming there for weekend every weekend with your family. Imagine you maybe coming up every weekend after a lot of stress with your family in a beautiful garden neighborhood that looks like you are in heaven. With golf course, your children playing around, and then there is a water fountain, very beautiful. But most time when people have the vision, nobody say no. So your goal is to always create the future version of the building of what you are selling. Imagine people, let them imagine what it means. Like, for example, I see it funny when you see realtors taking an adult, someone that has enough money to be able to buy a property, and they are showing him houses, and they say, sir, this is the kitchen, this is the parlor, this is the dining. I mean, the person is not blind. That sounds ridiculous. The person is already saying, he's an adult, at least he have enough money to be able to buy that. He should have been able to know the difference between a dining and this thing. No, I don't do that. One of the things I teach my people, I said, sir, imagine, close your eyes. It's the year 2029. Or is the year 3 years from now? Yes, maybe it's the year 2028. And you are seated at your balcony looking at the beautiful garden in this estate. And probably your children coming to you and they're giving you a hug and they're thanking you for having the foresight to have bought this land or to bought this building, even when other people have hesitated. Sir, what will that feeling mean to you? My goal is always to create picture, to connect you with the vision of the future of what you want. And that is it. That's the law of future projection. It says that people buy the future version of themselves, not the product. You know what some people say? They say, sir, we are here, you are going to build 3-bedroom block of flat, 150 square meter for 200. What is that? All right. So here's what I want you to do. And I want you to write this down. The closer does not sell today. The closer sells tomorrow. The closer does not sell today, the closer sells tomorrow. And that is what you must sell. All right? Yeah. So here's the next one. Yeah. The law of micro commitment. The law of micro commitment. Never ask for big yes. A lot of people does that. They will show you everything, and at the end of the day, they will ask you, okay, for a commitment of 200 million, of 1 billion. A lot of time you will experience some hesitancy. You will have some challenge with that. So here is what you must do. Each small agreement makes the final commitment feel natural, not sudden. Get people to always say yes, 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 yes before you ask the big request. So I give you an example. All right. Now you say something like, so for example, does location matter to you? I'm sure most people will say yes. And do you prefer an area with strong appreciation? Guess what? They tell you yes. Will you rather invest now at the current value or pay more next year? They will tell you now. You say, perfect. Let me show you what is available. You see, you have got some micro commitment. Yes, 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 over the time. And that's what you're supposed to do. So the big yes is just the last of many small ones. Your goal is to get people to always say yes, 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 yes. All right? Now, remember, I'm still teaching you the preliminary stage in this thing. All right? I'm going to make you a very dangerous person in sales. In fact, in the next class, I'm going to teach you how to sell nothing. My mentor once told me, he said, until you can sell nothing, you're not a salesperson. Right? And until you can sell nothing, you will always be broke. And that's why, do you realize that it doesn't matter the kind of business I do, I always succeed? I'm telling you, I've done literally different kind of business and I always succeed by the grace of God also. Because I understood one thing. I understand the concept of selling. And I knew that selling is the world highest paid profession if you are good at it. Everyone on earth is a salesperson. Don't deceive yourself simply because it's just that we have hawkers and we have people that are selling. If the only time you have to sell something is you need a product to sell, you are a hawker. You're not a salesperson, according to my friend, Mr. Gochuku. So we have a lot of people that are hawkers. They are not salesperson. It takes a salesman is someone who can articulate an idea, a vision, and transmit it from their mind to someone else's mind to be so vivid that they are willing to pay. All right? Dangote is a salesman. Every day, if you go on the internet, he's selling the idea of his refinery, why people should come and invest in his refinery. If you look around, Microsoft is selling their computers, HP is selling, Mercedes-Benz are selling, everybody is selling something. The only person that is not selling anything probably is you. You say, no, 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 I'm too big enough. I don't want to sell. And it's like there's this kind of pride that I see a lot of people place, and you're broke and you're suffering. All right? See, the truth is that your future self deserves a good life. I told you something earlier. I said, if you're not tired of where you are is tired of you. All right? Now, the next one, quickly, is called the law of identity alignment. The law of identity alignment, to align. So the most powerful clauses, all right, the most powerful clause does not target what someone wants. A lot of you are selling things that you feel people want. You know, one of the things I like from, I learned from the founder of Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. He said that people don't often know what they want. He said, create it and just give them. He said people didn't know that they will want an iPhone or they will want an iPod until he created it and made it available to them. So, and you see, this thing is in another different levels. I took time. There was a time I took time to study for 9 months. I studied every billionaire that I could lay my hands on their material. For 9 months, I studied nothing less than 22 billionaires, self-made, successful, richest people in the world. And I found that all of them are good at selling. And that was when I decided I will be a salesperson. Not sell person in terms of hawking. I'm not a hawker. Of course, I can never hawk something and tell you, come and buy this thing. But all of them, they know how to sell their vision. They know how to articulate their vision. They know how to sell their product, either tangible or intangible. The reason why you're struggling, even though you have the best product, is because you don't know how to sell. And that's why you're broke. Some of you have things that you can sell and make money. You can create a product and make money, but guess what? You don't know how to sell it. And that's why you're broke. In the marketplace, it's not the company or it's not the best product that even you sometimes win. It's the product that is most marketed. So remember this law. The most powerful clause does not target what people want. Because I learned that from Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple Computers, I don't even care so much about necessarily what you want in my offer. I target who someone believes they are. Everyone has certain belief that they have about themselves. So when the purchase that you are selling align with self-image, resistance dissolves. All right? So for example, I used to tell people like, maybe you are a kind of person who build generational wealth, not that kind of person who rents forever. And they always say, yes. I said, this investment is not for everyone, but it is designed for someone exactly like you. You see, I'm selling them back their own best story because they are the people that like to build generational wealth, not to be paying rent forever. So I'm telling them that, you know what, because you are that kind of person, I believe this investment exactly suit smart persons like you. So you always align identity. Align what? Identity. All right. So the law number 13, we call it the law of controlled information. The law of controlled information. Now, this is something that I learned about 12 years ago when I used to be in direct sales. All right. And yes, I think about 13 or 14 years ago. I can't remember, but it's about 2012, 2013. I don't know, 2012, 2013. How many years ago now? Um, I don't know. I'm beginning to lose count of. Okay. Yes. But I know it's over 10 to 12, 13 years ago. So, and I remember this. He said, never give all the information at once in selling. I see a lot of salespeople, they say this, they say this. It's like the more they make effort, the more they try to convince someone, the less the person ever buys. Have you ever heard the popular saying that curiosity killed the cat? Exactly. Even in sales, that is your greatest weapon. Each piece of information should create a question, not answer one. Now, a buyer who is curious always stay engaged. The buyer who knows everything usually leaves. So instead of dumping all this specification, say something like, there's one feature of this development that most investors usually overlook. And it is the reason the first 20 units were sold out in 3 days or in 4 days. Let me show you. You see, let me tell you something, and I want you to take this note down. Mystery is the closer's oxygen. Mystery is the closer's oxygen. All right? Am I talking to somebody? All right. So that's great. Oh, I feel like talking and I feel like teaching somebody, all right, especially tonight. But I'm saying like we don't have time. Usually, for most of you that have been to some of my physical classes, we usually start by 4 o'clock and sometimes we even end 4 a.m. All right. But it's okay. This is not going to be like that. I know most of you are just in for the very first time, but I am even proud of you that you stay this long because of your desire to invest in yourself. Remember what I said earlier, that all new knowledges cannot create new result. Everything that you know have brought you this far. If it was good enough, it will have taken you further than where you are at the moment. So you need to seek for new, different kind of knowledge that is different from what you already have if you must be able to get to the next new phase of your life. Because all new, now, you remember I said it in the beginning, I said insanity is doing the same thing over and over and hoping to create different outcome. All right. That's why I'm not excited that this is a new year, because nothing is going to be new for a lot of people on the call, except for the different knowledge that they have, which is now going to impact their actions to be different from the actions that they undertook previously in their previous years. Or else a lot of people are doomed to recycle their last year in this year. So the next law is called the law of tribe belonging. All right. The law of tribe belonging. Now, I think that this law emphasizes more about people want to belong to something exclusive. So create one for them. Position your offer as membership into a tribe of successful people, not as just a transaction. I remember in one of our estates, someone was hesitant and he was asking me who and who buys from here. And, and of course, I always owe duty of privacy to most of my clients, except most of the time I usually ask them sometimes, and most times if you've ever bought from me, you always know that I always ask this question. I say, sir, is it okay just in case if your testimonials can encourage someone to, if you're okay with that, cool. If you are not, I zip off. All right. So, and I was telling him, I said, hey, this and this and this. He said, wow, that's great. So I told him that this person, this is this person's floor, this is this person's floor. He said, I want to be the next. So our investors are not just buyers. For example, that's some of the things you can share. They are members of exclusive community of wealth builders. Do you know why people buy houses in Asokoro? Just like I said, I told you earlier in Maitama, because they want to belong to a tribe of certain people. All right? Yes. So remember this point. Write this down. People do not buy products. They buy belonging. And I'm sure most of you see it. A lot of times, some of the things you, even at an individual level, you buy, you don't buy it simply because you need it. I give someone an example. I say a lot of Nigerians that buy iPhone don't even need it. Some of them are better off with techno and all those things because those things have proven to be even more useful in our context. But guess what? Some people will buy the futures till till the phone expire. They will never be able to maximize 1/10 of the functionality of those devices. All right? Yeah. So I'm stopping at law 14. We still have law 15 today. All right. Then I will rush to just share with you one or two concepts. Then before we can schedule, and my God, that our next class is going to be awesome. Remember, this is just kindergarten. All right. I'm telling you, you're going to have a lot of learnings, but I'm going to make sure that you learn, and I'm also going to make sure that I work with you to be able to accomplish some of your life's goals if you're willing. But I only work with the willing, right? Typically, most of you already know that, oh, yeah, I'm excited, man. I wished that when I was starting my journey, I had someone that sat me down in probably one setting and just share with me a lot of information like this. I probably would have been, but I thank God, at least I'm not where I want to be yet, but at least I'm grateful. I'm honestly grateful. I'm grateful to God. So, yeah, our next class, we will start at law number 15. All right. And I'm also going to teach you objection handling and mastery. Okay. Okay. Oh, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Are we good? Wow. If we are good, I want to see you on the chat box. All right. Probably we can put any emoji to just let me know that yes, we are still together. If you're getting value from our discussion, all right, I just want to see it there. And let me know that I'm not just talking. Let me just know that someone is truly learning something. And yes, awesome, awesome, awesome. That's great. Awesome. Wow. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of you, a lot of, yeah, that's great. Awesome. Wow. Solo. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Appreciate. Yeah. It will only get better. I promise you, it will get better. It will be challenging, but we will overcome it because we don't pray that it should be easy in the first place. We pray that it will be worth it at the end of the day. And guess what? 90 days from now, you will look back. For some of you, depend on the depth of your hunger. And I can promise you that you begin to see, at least you will be able to retrace your steps back and see that you are a different person. Above all, it will not just be the money you're going to make. I'm sure a lot of you will make a lot of money, but it will not just be about the money. My goal is never about the money, but about the person you're going to become in the process. Because guess what? You will lose the money sometimes. I have lost money many times. But guess what? I have ultimately become successful, regardless of those challenges, regardless of those days. And yeah, so awesome, awesome, awesome. That's great. Like that. Okay. So from our next class, we are going to discuss the laws and uh, let me ask Sam a question. Sam, can you on your video? I want to ask you. Okay, I just wanted to ask you a question. When do you think we can? When is the earliest we can schedule, and so that we can complete this? Because I know that so many people probably will want to go and rest. It's getting late. All right. Left to me, we can talk from now till tomorrow.
Okay, okay. I think it's we can schedule for the next, let's say by Sunday evening. All right.
Okay, so yeah, because because I know some of you probably will want to go and sleep, and you've had a busy day. We are going to do that. So if you're on the group, I also want to make sure that you experiment some of the things that you're learning. All right. So just like I said, towards the end of the 90 days, um, I have a good news for everybody also. And the good news is that I'm going to sponsor some people, nothing less than 50 people on the call, probably. All right. So we're going to have our grand ceremony. All right. And we, of course, we may not want to have it here. We probably want to travel somewhere. And for all of you that have been able to become consistent and have been able uh, to experiment what we are teaching, because everything that you know is going to be useless except for the knowledge, except for the actions that you do. Right? So if you've been able to meet some sales target or probably on your own, and you're able to experiment some of these things, if you want to be part of a challenge, I'm going to throw a challenge for anybody that is on the call. All right. So I'm looking at taking at least 50 people to travel somewhere around the world, and I'm going to honor them at the end. And for those who have also proven that they have actually learned, I'm also going to give issue you a certificate of mastery from our business school. All right, from our business school. So if you want to come with us, I'm going to put the requirement on the group, and I'm also going to my team are going to put the requirement on the group, and they're also going to give you all the resources that you need. All right, and it's going to be awesome. You just don't know what you sign yourself up to. I'm telling you. All right. If yeah, I'm very confident that that some of you don't know. By the grace of God, all right, that if you're hungry, all right, you're hungry. I'm not only going to give you the knowledge, I'm also going to give you the opportunity. All right. I'm going to give you an opportunity so that through the opportunity, uh, you can own some estate, you can own some properties. And I'm excited about the future. And I think that's what I can say. Yes. So on the group, you're going to check the group, all right? Um, I think we're going to 2 countries. Yes, 2 countries. If you can just share some of our flyers to 1 or 2 persons, anybody that you know, and they decided to buy any of our products, all right? And they just buy. It can be that, in fact, I was telling someone this afternoon, uh, when we are talking, I said, listen, anybody that experiments some of the things that I'm going to teach you, and they even sell, even if it is 2 plots of land in any of our estates, that is worth about even if it is just 100 million, you are coming to 2 countries with me, all expense paid. I am going to pay everything, your flight, your hotels, your vacations, your tourism, your training, and I'm going to not only going to be only me, there are also other people that are going to be there to teach you also, all right? And you're going to be recognized at a global stage, all right? And it's going to be phenomenal, all right? And that is what we all do every day for free, all right? So I want you to experiment some of the things that you're going to learn, and you can refer a customer to any of our estates to buy anything so that they can own anything, experiment the little that you know, and we're going to do it over the period of 90 days. Anybody that does it, it's not just going to be the money that you will make. Of course, I'm going to pay you your commissions, all right? I'm going to pay you what you're worth. I'm going to make sure that every 1 naira that you earn is paid to you, but above all, the person that you are becoming. That is the most important thing. And you're going to come for the vacation, all expense on me, all right? And just to reward you for not giving up on yourself, for being diligent and for proving, because I need you to be successful, all right? I need you to be successful because it's a validation that what I teach is works, that the information I'm giving, that it's working, all right? So I need you more than you need me, because I need people to know that this information works, all right? Yeah, so just 100 million naira and you come with me. Guess what? It can be that you can even sell one plot. In one of our estate, one plot is over 100 million, all right? And what you need to do is what you've always been doing before now. Maybe telling people about things for free. It's just that this time you tell someone, imagine you tell someone about any of our estate, you buy one plot, let's say of 100 million naira, I pay you up to 7%, about 7 million instantly. And guess what? You're also coming to vacation with me. I'm going to announce 2 countries. I'm looking at there are countries I'm looking at, but it's just that because of the war in the Middle East is going to become a bit challenging. I'm looking at Qatar and some places. But as of this evening, I confirmed that we can go to places like Zanzibar, all right, and which is also a very nice place. And we're going to have our convention there for all of us that are on the call. It's going to be for us, all right? And it's going to be beautiful. Yes. And either Zanzibar, Ethiopia, or also we are going to places like Bali and Indonesia. All right. Yes, but it's just going to be something very beautiful. I have in the last few years, I've traveled to close to 50 countries in my life, and at least I have an idea of places that are very nice that I believe that yes, you will give yourself a new experience and also a holiday. Go and relax somewhere, travel somewhere, see the world. Because if you're with me, you must travel. All right? Yes. Oh, Maldives. Someone said Maldives. Yes. Actually, I have also discussed about Maldives earlier on, but because of Qatar flight, because usually it's easier, most people go. The last time I was in Maldives, we used Qatar Airlines. So because of what is happening in that, the instability in the region, that's what I'm just considering. All right. But just if you don't have a passport, or if your passport have expired, from next week, I want you to go and renew it. All right. And renew it. Yes. In the next 90 days, all of us are going to travel together. And I can't wait. So you can start, you can share the flyers, reach out to 1 or 2 persons, tell them they can choose any of our product in any of our estates. All right. You have been doing that for free. And some of you, I can see a lot of you here have already bought from me. All right. So thank you. So that's great. So join the group. You can also get other people a referral to help you also tell people about it. You've helped me in that aspect, and also, but above all, you're also going to be great things for yourself. Imagine telling someone about the business. Even if you don't even know what to tell someone, you can also contact our office, and we have experts that will help you through the process. All right. Teach people about that while you also learn from them. Okay. All right, I can see some people, they are already hot. Some people just can't wait. They are asking for the flyers on the group chat. All right, so that's great. So my team are going to post some of the flyers. And guess what? Let's start this journey. And thank you so much for having the opportunity to be on the call tonight with me. And I'm going to ask Sam to unmute at least 5 people to tell me what you have learned. 5 things, 5 people to just share with me what you learned, what's your take home this night. And I can't wait to see you on Sunday after in the evening. My God, you've not had anything today. Everything that I've been sharing from now, from the beginning to now, is just, it's just an introduction. I'm going to teach you one thing after the other. Every step I have followed to have built multi-billion naira real estate portfolios. Everything that I have followed and I've taught other people that have become very successful. All right. And if you've gotten value, let me know on the comment below. All right. Oh, see my friend, my brother, Mr. Aaron. It's great to meet you. It's great to see you. I'm seeing Utama. I'm seeing Emmanuel. Thank you for being on the call. I'm seeing Honorable Awal. It's great. Glory, Ishaya, Amaka, also. Oh, Michael. All right. Okay. Yeah. I see you guys. So, okay, yes, Lelena. Mumari, I'm seeing so many of my brothers and my friends. So yeah, so Sam, I just want just 3 people or 5 people to just tell me what's your take home this night, and we will call it home. All right. I'm going to put a lot of flyers and some of the things on the group chat, and then we will start our journey. Let's get this thing done.
Okay.
Anybody just becomes okay. Okay, this is Mr. Tion. Mr. Paul is Tion, and we proceed there. I can see Mrs. Lenny Gloria. Oh, Mamana. Okay, Mamana.
Good evening.
This physical first.
Can I call? Can you hear me?
Always, and then Miss Lenny, then
Good evening. Can you confirm if I'm on it?
Okay.
tell me what you learned, what stood out for you today, and what you're going to implement after today.
Yeah, Mr. Victor, you have been unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. I am Victor James, and it's quite a pleasure to be on this call. I'm really grateful to Dr.
All right,
Hyeladi.
are you guys together? I said that, okay, I'm seeing Mr. Victor, Miss Colleen, Johnson, Mamana, Johnson, Gloria. It's good to see you again. All right, and I'm seeing my Mr. Dali of TLP. It's good to connect to you again. It's been a long time, Mamana. Well done. Yeah. So I just want you to tell me what you learned, what stood out for you, and what you're taking home tonight, what you're going to do starting from tomorrow that is different. All right. And it's going to be awesome. And we'll call it a day. And then, okay, we'll choose another 2 people. We just want like 5. Just you can raise your hand on the chat. Yes. So let's start with Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor, you're being unmuted.
Thank you so much, Dr. Haruna. So quickly, my take home is that for me to succeed, I need the right vehicle.
That's right.
And I need knowledge, and I need to become the person. That for me is my take home. And beginning now, I'm going to begin to do the right things I need to do, at least following your guides and all of that. Thank you very much.
I like that. I like that. Well done. Well done. It's good. Yes. Okay. Can you unmute Ms. Johnson, Mrs. Gloria, Mamana?
Yes. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Oh my goodness, it's good to see you. How have you been?
I've been very good, sir. Like you said, staying with you, you can stay all night and you'll wonder where did all the time fly while learning from you. It's
Yeah,
always a privilege learning from you. And
thank you.
for me, this is not only for sales. This can actually go for anything you want to do. You are negotiating, you're sitting on a negotiation table, not for sales, for business products, for people. If you actually want to negotiate, let's say in a HR, this would actually help because you see you're trying to help the future of other people. Now, you sell the future and not the futures in a thing.
That's
So when
right. That's
anybody
right.
it's a car you want to sell, You tell them the future is in the car, the future of that car, what it will do. It will give them a picture, like you said, imagine, use their imagination, work on their imagination, and whatever it is you're trying, you can actually sell ice to an Eskimo with what you have thought us. For
Thank you.
me, like I spoke about previously, this is something I desire to get into, and I know this is going to go far, and I'm going this like 1000%. If there's anything like that, it's one that hook, line, sinker.
Oh
I'm
my
diving into
God.
it to use this. I'm running my head to see this will definitely work. Everyone succeeds to the extent to which they sell. Very
Hmm.
important.
I like
Thank
that.
you
I like that. By the way, Miss
so much.
Gloria is an yes, Mrs. Gloria is an amazing individual, guys. You need to meet her in person. She's an angel, and it's an honor for me to relate with her. She's a very interesting personality to be with, and uh,
Thank you,
uh,
Baba.
I'm sure most of them are going to get to know you in the process. But I'm glad you're also on the call tonight, and I'm glad that we're going to get this
Wouldn't have been,
1000%.
I
Yes.
wouldn't have been anywhere here. Thank you so
I
much for
know,
this opportunity.
I know,
Thank
I
you.
know. So,
I did.
so for some of you, in case you don't also know, I even have a complete course on the act of negotiation, and it's part of what I'm going to teach you in the process. All right. So you can negotiate deals, million, 100 million naira deals, million naira deals, billion naira deals. I have been part of a lot of negotiations of different projects from many countries around the world. So I'm going to show you how the top 1% negotiate deals. So in the process, just in addition to what Madam Gloria said earlier. All right, so I see Mr. Collins. Yes, Mr. Collins. Yeah, can you unmute Mr. Collins?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Mr. Collins. How are you,
Hi, good
brother?
evening, sir, Dr. Heladi. Like, I'm super, super excited to be your meeting today. I've already reached
Thank
out to
you.
some of my colleagues, like, guys, you've missed a lot. That was why I was asking in the group, is there a way I can still get them on board? Because they have missed this session already. Like,
Wow.
I'm so, so grateful for here. Yeah. Like, where could I have been if not here today, this night? Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It amazes me that you have poured out a lot of from the words of your knowledge, and yet you're telling us that this is just the elementary. So I'm wondering what the main thing would look like. I'm
I'm
wondering
telling
what
you.
the main thing would look like.
Wait,
Like,
next week when I start teaching you how to sell nothing, that was the first time you're going to have a self-confidence. You know that you can succeed in any business.
wow, wow, that's
I'm going to
amazing.
teach you the science and act of selling nothing.
Okay, sir. Thank you so
Yes,
much, sir.
sir.
So I've actually learned a lot tonight. I've learned a lot. Like I've written like 4 pages of long notes, and I did see didn't capture every single moment actually. Yeah. So let me just pick three out of all that I've jotted down, I've noted. I think the first thing that captured my attention, like was very profound for me, is when you started by saying, when you meet someone that is more successful than you, there is something they know that you don't know. And then when you meet such people, you don't talk, you listen. Like that's the biggest thing I've ever like. That's a whole lot of wisdom for me. That's a whole lot of wisdom, and I really want to start working on that. Listening to people who have gone ahead, and then learning from them, basically. So that's number one. And then number two was when you said closing is not about selling, it's about transforming your beliefs into the minds of your buyers. That was very profound for me as well. Just making them believe what you believe in. And for you to be able to make them believe what you believe in, it means you would have believed in that in yourself first. So you
Very well.
have to exude that confidence from yourself before someone else can believe and trust. Because you also mentioned that people don't buy if they don't trust. They don't buy
Yeah.
from people they like, but they buy from people they trust. And the last
Mhm.
one I want to mention that is also very profound is that when you say, the last one I want to mention that is also very profound is when you told us how you can turn fear, you can turn around fear because you can actually turn around fear by telling people, yeah, if you do not buy, this is what you stand to lose. That fear I used to see as a negative thing because I'm always afraid of objections. But now you've taught me how to turn around all of those things. So fear that is supposed to be a weakness is now becoming a strength, actually, from the way you're presenting it. So I'm so,
Mhm.
so grateful to be here tonight, sir. I really appreciate. Thank you
great.
so much.
That's great.
So much,
Thank
sir.
you. You talked
Merci.
about objection. In our next class, I'm going to teach you about objections also. I'm going to give you
All
like
right. Thank you so much.
real hand situations like, sometimes people tell you, I'll go and think about it. I'll get back to you. I want to talk to my spouse. I want to do this.
Yes.
I'm going to show you. Oh, I don't have money.
Hmm.
Right? So by the grace of God, we're going to deal a lot into that. It's a very interesting journey and you're going to love every part of it. Okay? Yes.
I can't
So
wait, sir. Thank you so much.
awesome, awesome. Wow, I'm seeing one of my brother is saying Paul Midala. Anguro Mumuri is saying he has been in sales profession for over 16 years, and for him, this depth is something else, which is great. And you haven't seen anything yet. We are just starting, and I'm telling you that all of you, if you don't have a business, just think of how to start even one, because I'm going to show you. You're going to be a sales machine. All right. So, okay. I need someone again. Babana, who? Okay, I'm seeing Mr. Vandy and Sharif and Mark. They did raise their hand. So if you want to say something quickly, yes. Okay, yes, Vandy.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
First of all, I want to say thank you for
Thank you.
everything you said. You said a lot of things, and like last week I said, I am sitting and I have like three foodstuff full already, and I'm just looking and my head is just assimilating plenty. But I want to say thank you for this eye opener.
Thank
But
you.
one thing, yeah, for like a year plus, I've been trying to get into the real estate business, and from all what you said, there's one thing that really piqued my interest. Like there are plenty, but this one like spoke to me. So it says, questions means interest. So
Hmm.
when prospective buyers ask questions, sometimes we tend to feel the they are not interested. But from what you've taught today, is when they ask questions, it shows they have interest. They are just looking for clarity. So
Very true.
from what I've learned today now, it's my own place to educate them and inform them a lot, give them clarity on what they want, sell for them tomorrow, not necessarily what's on ground today. Paint a brighter picture for them that
Mhm.
they feel captured and they are not even buying what they are saying now. They are buying the prospect of what it will become. So I really want to say thank you for all this, and I'm excited to see how we continue from here. Thank you very much.
Awesome, my brother. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's great. Oh, okay. That's great. Oh my goodness, it's just so awesome, and I'm deeply humbled to have all of you on the call. I'm seeing a lot of people did raise their hands, and okay, so let's give like two people again, then we can now call it a day. I'm seeing my sister Kuchali. Is it Kuchahel Abba? Yes. I think yeah. Oh, is it my brother? Yes. Babana, grant them.
Yeah, Mr. Sharif.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, sir. It is a
Hey,
great honor and pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much, sir.
thank you so much.
What captures my mind is when you talk about the trust as a currency. So, looking at it, trust is when I'm just thinking of trust as a currency, building trust as is the first things in business before anything, because if somebody trusts you, you have almost everything about it, and you are going to succeed on that. So that's it. Thank you so much
Awesome.
for
Thank
and
you
have
so
a
much.
wonderful thank you so much.
So much. It's great to have you. It's really great. It's awesome. Yes. Okay. Babana, give two more people, then we can now call it a day. And it's gonna be awesome. I'm so interested and I'm excited about what's about to happen, honestly.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Evening, my brother.
Doctor, I salute, I greet you, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
You know,
Mark. How have you been?
we thank God, sir. You know, the last time you were in the church, I remember carrying your bag. You don't know that the reason why I'm carrying your bag is this reason, sir. You see, this is the package you hold, and this is what God has entrusted in you, sir. Really, really, sky is your limit, sir. And I can say heaven is your limit. Thank you for your wonderful thing again. Sir, I also
Thank you.
want to add that you gave us more than a currency. I can't just imagine. Just yesterday, we're supposed to close a deal that worth like 25 billion naira. But because I lack those currencies you are mentioning, those days I lost them. To be frank with you, um, that's why I said people that are coming from a lesser background, like I myself, um, this is an opportunity that God has entrusted into our hand this year. That by the grace of God, we will utilize it and in a very long way. And again, I want to add to my fellow colleagues that you see in this journey that you have gave us, I want to assure us that he said you made mention of currency and hard currency that we have as trust. You said trust is a currency. I want to tell us that it's a hard currency. That's what it has once it has been poured out. I'm telling you, it's very difficult to get it back. I pray that God will help us. Thank you very much, Doctor. More grace, our to your elbows.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Babana, remember one person? Anybody that you just, then we now call it a day. Babana, give.
Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother Mustafa.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity, sir.
Thank you, Mustafa.
Yes, I'm really grateful in being this your section, and I think I was just it's like I'm just learning new things entirely from this, as in my entire life, and I'll be struggling. I was like, am I in the right places that I'm, as in, am I in the right place in what I've been doing? And today you started mentioning about being in the right vehicle or having the right knowledge. And these are the things that I've been struggling with in my life. That am I in the right place? Or what do I need to do to succeed in life? And this have been baffling me for many years. And now it's just as if I'm finding a new word entirely in this your class. I'm very grateful, sir. And I hope to be in this and I hope to be in this real estate business, or just to learn more about this real estate and how to be part of it.
Thank you.
I'm very grateful for this class, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to have you. And okay, I think we can call it a day. I'm seeing a lot of people that I have a lot of respect to. I'm seeing one of my old mama, and I have a lot of respect. Mama, thank you, Madam Aisha Wando. Oh my God, it's an honor to have you on the call. All right. Thank you so much, Mama. And I can't just call names. Everybody here, thank you for being on the call. But I am even more excited about what's going to happen. Remember, if you know where you're going, your journey is short. If you know how to get there, your journey becomes shorter. But if you have someone that has been there and is willing to help you get there, you're already there. One of the things that my mentor said is that there is no wisdom failing where others have thrived. Together, I believe we will all be successful in whatever endeavor, should you choose, even whether it's real estate or not. I don't care that you have to do real estate or you have to succeed in real estate, but guess what? The principles of life are universal. All of us are salespeople, and I can't wait to celebrate you people. All right? So see you on Sunday. If you want, probably I'm going to ask my team to still give some people very few opportunity. If there are people you feel you want to be on the call on Sunday, we will still create an opportunity, a small door for them. But after then, anybody that has not registered up until that time will never have access to this program again. Okay, and as we grow, the size will be reducing. That I already know from experience. So most people here want to be successful. They have an idea that they want to be successful, but they cannot do what it takes to be very successful. And some, just like as Jesus said, some are going to be like a seed that falls by the roadside, and because some people will allow situations and circumstances of life to come and steal them away. But guess what? Our journey still continues. So thank you for trusting me with your time and with your attention. And I want to tell you, I love you, and see you at the top. All right? Thank you. Good night. Have a lovely night. Bye-bye, everyone.